The Real Ghostbusters was a different 1980s cartoon. It became a gigantic hit. Exploring the characters from the movie, this cartoon wasn't afraid to tackle dark subjects. The series created new nightmarish tales and dark entities to match the tone. The storytelling was excellent, the animation is beautiful, and the voice acting is superior. And let's not forget about the soundtrack. There will be spoilers ahead, so be forewarned. Now here are my top 10 favorite episodes of The Real Ghostbusters. Number 10. Flip Side. A tornado strikes Central Park. While investigating, Egon, Ray, and Peter get sucked into the tornado. When they finally land on the ground, they realize they're on a flip side of their universe. But in this universe, people get hunted. As the Ghostbusters search around New York, they head to the fire station. And then they realize that they are being hunted by the People Busters, who are ghost versions of themselves. After Ray and Egon are captured, Peter finally gets in touch with Winston. Winston explains that the containment unit is the key, so Peter must get caught so they all can escape through the containment unit. The People Busters are warned of the jailbreak, but they are too little, too late. I enjoy how the Ghostbusters get a taste of their own medicine, on the proverbial flip side, if you will. They even manifest ghost-like abilities. I thought it was fleshed out very well, and I also like the exaggerated look of the People Busters. Number 9. The Grundle. The Grundle's first attempt, Larry, gets busted by the police for trying to boost Ecto-1 parts. The Grundle finds a new child to latch onto. That child's name is Alec. The Grundle has Alec tamper with the Ghostbusters proton pads. The Ghostbusters pads do damage on the gym and nearly the children. Lee tells the Ghostbusters about Alec's recent change of attitude. The Grundle wants Alec to get Lee to join them. Egon searches in Tobin's spirit guide for Lee's description. While Alec and the Grundle attempt to convert Lee, Egon realizes it's the Grundle. The Ghostbusters seek out and find the Grundle after Alec breaks his spell. The Ghostbusters capture him. Once the Grundle is granted permission, the door is open, so to speak. What a cool character with an even cooler concept. Imagine if the Grundle wasn't stopped. Alec would have become the new Grundle. Now that's some pretty dark stuff. Number 8. Halloween Door. Dr. Crowley and Fairweather ask the Ghostbusters for help to end Halloween. The Ghostbusters decline Crowley's offer, but not before Slimer runs them out of there and they steal a PKE meter. The Ghostbusters perform touch and all magic, and Crowley uses his anti-Halloween machine to destroy signs, pumpkins, masks, anything Halloween. Crowley gloats about it, and he soon learns of a double cross from Fairweather the monster. Fairweather points the machine to the sky and opens a portal, and Boogaloo is back in town. After the druid's deal was broken, thanks to Crowley, all the ghouls, ghosts, and goblins are released from the containment unit. Boogaloo nearly has victory in his grasp until a little girl named Emily helps Boogaloo realize Halloween isn't forgotten, it's alive and well. And everything returns back to normal. When you combine music, Halloween, and the Boogaloo, business is surely going to pick up. Crowley's hatred was his own doing. I love the idea of the ghosts, ghouls, and goblins returning if we don't honor our side of the agreement. It is art imitating life, a perfect episode for any time of the year, but it makes it that much better around Halloween. Number 7. The Boogeyman, COMETH. Megan and Kenny Carter want to hire the Ghostbusters. The kids tell them the Boogeyman is in their closet. Egon insists on checking it out immediately. When they do investigate, they find out the kids weren't lying. The Boogeyman tells Egon he remembers him. Egon tells the guys that Boogeyman is the reason he pursued becoming a Ghostbuster. The Ghostbusters devise a plan to trick the Boogeyman into coming for Ray. The Boogeyman obliges, and the Ghostbusters knock him back in the closet, back into his domain. The Ghostbusters follow him, jumping from closet to closet until they decide to utilize a ghost bomb. Boogeyman comes face to face with Egon as the Carter kids watch on. The kids decide to face their fears with Egon. As the proton packs blow up, so does the Boogeyman's entranceway to the Carter's bedroom. I love the Boogeyman's domain. His look and voice were terrifying to me as a kid. Imagine this big-headed bastard coming out of your closet. And I love the way they handled it in this show. I also really love the fact that Boogeyman and Egon have history with each other. That just adds extra emotion to this encounter. Number 6. Ragnarok and Roll. Jeremy wants to bring on Ragnarok. His friend Detilio thinks he can reason with Jeremy, but Jeremy beckons the call regardless. When the Ghostbusters track down the storm, the only spot that wasn't being hammered with them, they find Cindy, who was Jeremy's ex-girlfriend. She gives him Jeremy's bad story and hunts for Jeremy, and Detilio begins. The Ghostbusters track him down, and their proton packs are useless on Jeremy. Cindy tries to reason with Jeremy. The Ghostbusters devise a plan to end Jeremy, but in doing so, they will suffer the same fate. As Jeremy plays the final notes, a gust of wind nearly knocks Cindy off a roof, but Detilio makes a sacrifice. As Detilio holds on, he reasons with Jeremy. Jeremy saves Detilio and undoes his doing. Don't go breaking Jeremy's heart for sure. I feel like everything's on the line because it is. When the Ghostbusters are ready to sacrifice themselves to end this threat, that alone takes this episode to the next level. Number 5. Mr. Sandman, Dream Me a Dream. Mr. Sandman wants to put everyone asleep for 500 years. Mr. Sandman invades reality and puts New York to sleep. When the people of New York fall asleep, their dreams began to manifest and invade reality. The Ghostbusters are confronted by Mr. Sandman, and the Sandman unleashes more nightmarish monsters to take down the Ghostbusters. He puts Ray to sleep, then Peter, and finally Egon. And it's all up to Winston now. He runs to Janine, and they must stop the Sandman. Mr. Sandman puts Janine to sleep. It's just Winston left now, but little does Mr. Sandman know Janine's dream was to be a Ghostbuster. Slimer, Winston, and Janine all stop Mr. Sandman. Teamwork makes the dream work. The concept of Mr. Sandman is cool to begin with, but add in the look and sound of this being, and you've got one bad mamma jamma. If you think about it, was he so wrong? No wars, no violence, just peace and sleep. The dreams of all the Ghostbusters were just absurd. And Mr. Sandman nearly got the win. Just think about the repercussions if he did. Number 4. Halloween Door 2.5. Sam Hain is released from the containment unit and takes over the Ghostbusters station. The Ghostbusters drop off the Junior Ghostbusters, and Sam Hain rallies his troops. As they search for the Ghostbusters, the Junior Ghostbusters head to the station. They're chased, but the Ghostbusters devise a plan in which they need Slimer's assistance. Sam Hain has the Junior Ghostbusters trapped. Egon discovers where the point of attack needs to be. After Slimer creates a diversion, the Ghostbusters take down Sam Hain once again. Hey, Pumpkin Breath, here's a little snack. Every time you have Halloween anything, you guys know I'm there. Add the return of Sam Hain to the mix, and I'm all into this one. Number 3. The Boogeyman is back. After nearly falling to his death, Egon has trouble sleeping, but Egon's fear is reaching the Boogeyman's realm. Finally, the Boogeyman has returned, thanks to Egon's fear. When all of the Ghostbusters awaken from sleep, they shoot Boogie out of a window. Boogie hunts for more fear. He finds the Junior Ghostbusters. After a call from the Junior Ghostbusters, Egon has found the Boogeyman, but Boogie escapes once more. Egon creates an atomic destabilizer to stop the boogeyman. The Ghostbusters will now have to go through a carnival of fear to come face to face with Boogie. Their fear gets the best of them all. The Junior Ghostbusters arrive, and Egon must face his fears. So I wish we had more of the boogeyman in this series. Egon and Boogie's past is so cool. Egon's fear literally opening the door was the sweet touch that we needed. Boogeyman even tells him he can scare them all to death in this episode. I just adore the character. He was so powerful, thanks to the fear. What if no one overcame their fear? Number 2. Citizen Ghost. A reporter named Cynthia Crawford interviews Dr. Peter Venkman about the origin story of the Ghostbusters. Peter starts the story with the end of their battle with Gozer. After they blew up the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, Egon orders Peter to burn their old uniform. Peter fails to listen to Egon and places the old uniforms near the new containment unit, which little does Peter know it has a small tear in it. When the green spud from the Sedgwick Hotel begins to show up at the firehouse, the Ghostbusters befriend the Class 4 Roman Vapor and name him Sly. When enough ectoplasm has been absorbed, the uniforms rise up as specters of the Ghostbusters, with only one thing on their mind: end the Ghostbusters. Once the specters have the Ghostbusters cornered, Egon realizes with every blast they take, they begin to weaken. But with only one proton pack left, they must act as bait. Ray volunteers, but Slimer jumps in and comes to the rescue. An episode that is essentially a direct sequel to the movie. What a cool decision. How can you not love this one? I may not be the biggest fan of Slimer, but it is nice to see his first mission with the team. I love all the choices made with the Spectre Busters. Think about it. Who knows you better than you? Number 1. When Halloween was forever. When two goblins unlock a 7th century relic, they unleash Sam Hain. Sam Hain calls all the unliving minions. This includes Slimer. Sam Hain's plan is simple. He wants an eternal Halloween night. After busting through the night, Egon realizes Sam Hain's plan. Sam Hain confronts the Ghostbusters and warns them to leave them alone. Egon learns of Sam Hain's weakness. It's light. Winston, Ray, and Peter try a frontal attack as Egon gathers up spotlights from the creatures of the night. Sam Hain has Slimer trapped in a daze, but Ray knows how to awaken the spud. Just in the nick of time, as the spotlights light up, Sam Hain and his children are captured. Once captured, the Ghostbusters check in on Sam Hain as he patiently awaits to be released again. Frankenstein is grooving. The Spirit King of Halloween is hands down my favorite antagonist of the Ghostbusters. Ever since I was a kid, I've been in total awe of Sam's design. It's so simple, but so cool. This episode was just so fun. The look, the feel, the stakes, the music. Would it be so bad if Halloween was forever?